episode of my Summer of Making video. Now this is part 2 of my video, so if you haven't watched part 1, go back and watch that. Although it's not going to make a big deal, I'm kind of showing you all the things I've made in the order that I made them. However, I did miss one thing that I'd made in part 1, which I'm going to start with that. So there's going to be dressmaking, Luna Lappin and friends, toy making, there'll be some doll clothes, yeah, maybe some knitting. Yeah, I think I included all the crochet in part 1. I don't think there's any crochet in this video, but yeah, mainly sewing and a little knitting. So anyway, I'm gonna crack on. Now the thing that I missed from part 1 is an outfit that I made. It all began, I picked up a kids magazine and it was an Encanto themed, and I wanted some of the things for my doll customization. So I found a pattern by Jane Craft Magic is the designer, and she designs clothes for Blythe dolls. And I bought this sweater dress pattern, and basically I made it out of an old sweatshirt of mine. I'll pop it on the screen actually. And what I used the magazine for, I used one of the like temporary tattoos you put on your skin. I actually put that onto the jumper. I put some sealant on it so it won't come off. I used a hair bow for the doll. I used the yellow hair clips on the ends of her plait. It came with a wooden bead bracelet, which I took apart and I used to decorate her eye cord. Now, if you're not familiar with Blythe dolls, they have a pull cord for changing their eyes. So yeah, I used the bracelet to decorate her pull cord. And is that everything? Yeah, and that's it. So hopefully I've showed you a photograph of the magazine. Yeah, I had lots of fun with that. And then I found Hilary of Moshi Moshi Studio. Now she has been a Blythe doll collector for a long time, and she designs Blythe clothes. Now she designs and she sells, but she also designs patterns as well. So I found her, and that's who I'm in her Patreon, which I did touch on this. I don't know how clear I was, because somebody was a bit confused about where I'd got the hat from, the hat pattern for Blythe. That was on Patreon. I'm sorry if I wasn't clear. And but that hat isn't on Patreon anymore. But Hilary of Moshi Moshi Studio does sell a bucket hat pattern, and you'd have all the instructions and things. You know, I was kind of doing it blind, so yeah. So anyway, so she gave us a pattern called the June dress, which I don't think, I might have included this in my last video. I'm really sorry if I did. And then she did a sewing bee. She does a sew along. If you're in the top tier of a Patreon, she will do a sew along. And we made another dress that month. I'll show you a photograph. Those are the 2 little Blythe dresses I made, and I made a headband and things as well. And I think I made an underskirt, you know, my own. It wasn't a pattern I used, I just kind of made it up. It's simple, isn't it? It's a rectangle with elastic, isn't it? It's not rocket science. So, and I bought a lovely little music box, and it's got an old-fashioned sewing machine on it. It looks like my Singer machine, doesn't it? And yeah, that's lovely. So I use it for photographing, but it will play a tune if you open the drawers and things. It's a lovely little thing to have, even if you're not a doll person, just sewing. It's a nice little decoration. So there, right, oh yeah, my son had his prom, my youngest son, and yeah, that was really lovely. He wasn't really looking forward to it, but he did have a lovely time. And what did I do next? Oh, actually, I made like a mood board to represent. I bought an authentic Blythe doll. Now, you might have seen that video already on YouTube, my first authentic Blythe doll. And basically, I found the people that had done the collaboration with my doll. So I made up this mood board and of the inspiration for my doll clothes. But now I'm using this mood board for me, for my makes, things that I want to make for me to wear. So yeah, it's kind of the doll thing, it's kind of, you know, collaborating with things I want to make for myself. So yeah, that's my inspiration for some future makes for myself. So then I did touch on the pink gingham, didn't I, when I said I thought I'd bought all the pink gingham in my town. Well, so far you in this video, in part 1, you saw a dress that I made for my BMR Barbie, one that I turned into a movie Barbie, and then I made her a dress inspired by the Barbie movie. Well, the next dress I made with that fabric is something for the Blythe dolls, and if it's the same as that flowery dress I showed you, but I did do something a bit different. I put lace around the band, and I made her a little pincushion hat, a pumpkin pincushion hat as well, and so she can be my little pin girl, can't she, next to my sewing machine. So that's Clara. And then the next thing I made is, I actually did some embroidery. I don't know if I spoke about this in my previous video, but I did do some free motion embroidery on a fish. I might have told you that already, and that was for part of the Poppy to Fry Summer Club, but that's all I managed to achieve, but I will be going back to that at some point. Right, then I went on to make some jeans. It was using a pattern. It might have been Jane Craft Magic again actually, but the trousers come out awfully big, and that was for a Blythe doll. And I put on a jumper. Now, do you remember I knitted a jumper wrong? It was in a previous Stitch Diary video, and yeah, I'd knitted it in the round and it wasn't supposed to be. It was only on the sleeve to do it, and the jumper came out wrong, but I carried on. Well, I used it anyway with these jeans, but yeah, they were a little bit big unfortunately, but yeah, I did end up keeping them on my doll anyway. So let's have a look at the next thing. So back with dolls again. I'm sorry if you're not a doll person. I wanted to recreate a Wednesday Addams, a modern Wednesday Addams from the current Netflix series that are on, not the the Wednesday Addams from before. Now the new Wednesday Addams has a fringe. The old Wednesday Addams doesn't have a fringe, and actually the actress that played Wednesday Addams as a young girl is actually in the current series as an adult, so that's quite good. So I basically bought kind of a copycat Blythe doll, and yeah, and I made her an outfit. I haven't quite finished with this doll actually. I've matted her face, I've plaited her hair, I've done a few of my regular customization that I do to these dolls, and I've made her a top. Now I went to Alton Towers during these holidays with my family, and I couldn't find my regular raincoat, so I dug out an old one, and I think the reason I stopped wearing this raincoat because I remembered it was leaking. Anyway, while I was at Alton Towers, my husband kept on saying to me, "You've got red on your face." What? And we realised it was actually coming off the jacket. I had all white bits on the jacket, and then the red was sticking to my face, and I said, "I don't think I'll be wearing this jacket again." So I got home and I cut it up, but that's how I made my Wednesday Addams' top. I think I used, it was a boy's top pattern from Hilary of Moshi Moshi, and to make that top. And I think initially I had her in a pair of jeans that I'd had with a doll, a customised doll that I bought, and that's how I discovered I'd still got mice, or I'd got mice in the craft room, because my little Barbie patterns that I designed myself had all been chewed, and I took a photograph of Wednesday. I think this is before I'd done any customisation on her and things. So yeah, I went on and did a bit of customisation. And yeah, so I'll show you the photographs of when I'd finished customising her, and I'd give her black eyelids and things, and she looks lovely. But like I say, I'm not finished with that project, so I'll come back to you. Maybe in a Blythe doll video I'll come back to you. So I'll just pop back to here. So hopefully you're getting lots of photos coming up on the screen. Then my youngest son performed in a concert. I think I showed you a little bit of video of that in my previous video, and yeah, he was on there for a couple of songs, and yeah, and that was really exciting to see, although he did have some issues with his sound, which was a bit disappointing. He played a solo because he was playing lead guitar in this band, and he yeah, and he was playing up the sound actually, which was a bit disappointing. And then Krista from California, she sent me a lovely parcel, so hi, she sent me a lovely parcel. I took a photograph of it, and then I took a photograph of the contents. So she got me some she thrifted these from a shop, and she got me some vintage sewing patterns for fashion dolls, which I've not used yet, but watch this space. I will be delving into this because I really want some more, you know, older pieces for my dolls. You know, I really like seeing these old fashions and things. So then I went on to make, it looks like I was making lots of heart waffles. I'm seeing lots of heart waffle photographs here. And then Hilary of Moshi Moshi Studio, she gave us an apron pattern by the look of it. So yeah, I made some aprons for Blythe, and I did some free motion embroidery on them, you know, about garden themed. So I made those. And then I made another of those Jane Craft Magic sweaters, and I used my raincoat lining again, and I made a hat, and I made leg warmers, but I don't think I photographed the doll with the leg warmers on, unfortunately. But yes, I did make leg warmers as well. So now we're back to Pink Gingham. Right, Pink Gingham crazy. So then I went on and I made, it was the day of the Barbie movie release. I was going to watch it that evening. So I wanted to take a Barbie doll with me to do some photography. So I whipped up this last minute Barbie movie inspired dress for my mini me. So I put some photographs on the screen, and I had some photographs with my Barbie, and I put on a pink gingham top. Now that top I didn't make. My husband bought me that from TK Maxx. He got it for £18, and originally it was £50. So yeah, and it's really, really lovely. So I wore that to the opening night of the Barbie movie with some pale grey skinny jeans that have got like all white pearls up the side of the leg up to the knee, where they do come undone. It's like a slit. It looks really nice actually, if I do say so myself. And yeah, but it was unfortunate because at that cinema there wasn't anything. There's only just people wearing pink glittery cowboy hats serving your popcorn. There wasn't any box to get in and have your photograph, because we went to one at Resorts World. We've got two Cineworlds. We've got our town centre one, and we've got Resorts World, and we're kind of really in the middle of the two. So if we can't get the times we want, we'll go to the others. My husband left it really late, and we was on the front row, and it was awful trying to watch this movie. So anyway, so I had lots of fun, you know, doing some photography and things anyway. And luckily I got to go back a second time, but I will get to that in the summer, my summer of making part 2. So what did I make next? Oh yeah, and we had a little bit of a Barbie party, my husband and I, down in the garden room, because my son's things and everything are down there at the moment with the renovation, so we don't really use it anymore. But he was out, so yeah, we did have a little bit of a mess around down there, which was a lot of fun, and we played my Barbie vinyl. So yeah, that was good. Then I went on and I made a raincoat. Now my raincoat was red. It was from Next originally, with a grey, with a stripy black and white lining. So I tried to make a replica jacket for my Barbie. Now for the outer, I did use a pattern for the hood and the outer, but the jacket that I got, it wasn't lined, so I had to get my thinking cap on and thinking how I was going to line this coat. Yeah, so Barbie got a lovely lined coat. So yeah, I'm really pleased with that. So I used to love that raincoat, and I was really sad to see it go. I can see a van going past here very slowly. I think is it coming here? So then I was doing a bit more with my Alice dolls by the look of it. I think I was matting a lot of my dolls' faces, because the ones with the shiny ones, I kind of made that decision. I was just going to matte all their faces. Sorry for the distractions here. So then I did a video. Yeah, I did another video, so you might have seen this on YouTube. I did a video I didn't do the video at this point. I made a dress for my 28-inch Barbie. She's called Best Friend Barbie, and it's basically like the dress I'd made for the smaller dolls. But this, I did use a pattern, which I'm sorry, I can't. It was Tangled Cat with a K. was the designer on Etsy. I've remembered this time. I couldn't remember in my other video. Yeah, so I made a dress for my big Barbie, and I'd not made anything for her. I'll show you a photograph of her in the outfit that she came in. She was second hand. I got her very cheap off eBay, and yes, I made that. And then I ended up putting a video on YouTube because this pattern came with a belt and a buckle, and I made a buckle by using a buckle die cut. But if you want to know more about that, there is a video on YouTube where I showed you how I made it. The video, I kind of made it up as I went along. I sort of had an idea and you just kind of saw me figure it out. So then I was lucky enough to go and see the Barbie movie the second time. And this time, because the first time I went with my youngest son, middle son and husband. And then the second time I went with my eldest son, his girlfriend and my friend, who was actually my son's girlfriend's mum. But basically they met separately. They didn't know each other because of my friend and I. They met separately. It was all a big coincidence. So the four of us went to see the Barbie movie together, and we went to my regular cinema in my town, and they did have a small Barbie box this time. They'd had one in there previous, a large one, where I stood inside it when I went to watch the live action Little Mermaid movie, but that one had gone. But they'd put this one there instead, which was a better fit actually. And yeah, and I'll show you some of the photographs I took from that cinema visit. And my eldest son got in it, and he looked rather large in this box, which is rather funny. So so anyway, what did I make next? Let's have a look. Put a Disney doll, which I was doing a video about that, and then I didn't end up finishing. I'll have to see if I've still got the footage actually. Oh, I did a repair. My hairdresser was going on holiday and she'd thrifted a dress, and she wanted the sleeves off it and things, so I did that for her, and then she didn't end up coming round to get it before she went on holiday. But I am going to be seeing her this week. My son's got a hair appointment, so I'll take a dress. It's a good, I might have forgot it actually. It's a good job I'm doing this video. It's reminded me. I'll get that. It's on my dress form in my craft room at the moment. I can see I bought some Cindy dolls. I got a second hand authentic Blythe doll, which yeah, maybe these will be more in the doll videos. Then I made myself a dress. At last, some dressmaking. Now, I'm a member of Seamwork, and I've mentioned Seamwork before, and I have showed you from month to month different patterns that I don't think I'm going to have time to show you that in this video because of all my summer of making. But in my next Stitch Diary videos, all the months I've missed, all the patterns that we've had on Seamwork, I will update you with those. But yeah, I won't do that in this video. But this is a Seamwork pattern, and it's called the Seamwork Amber. Now, the members of Seamwork get add-on patterns, so you get variations. So anybody could buy the Seamwork Amber pattern, but you wouldn't get this version of the skirt that I'm going to show you. It was the add-on. So yeah, I made myself this dress inspired by the live action Barbie movie with my pink gingham. So that's why I ended up buying all that gingham. I bought all 7 meters of it. That was the whole bolt in my Hobbycraft. Yeah, and I had some photographs in it, and I put some of my Barbie jewellery on. I had my Barbie bags and things, yeah, and did a bit of photography, but that was fun. And then my mum and dad bought me some Barbie pyjamas, and I managed to get a Barbie skirt from River Island, which was nice, which I haven't worn yet actually. Then one of my Patreons that I'm in a Little Matilda Atelier's Patreon, the one I told you about. It's a doll customisation, but I haven't really been watching. I think I watched I've watched a couple of the videos, but yeah, I'm not doing lots of, this is more about face carving and things, which I've not really thrown myself into at the moment. And but she does she's got 2 kind of patrons. One's like a journaling, and sometimes she'll do a live, but even though I'm in the doll customization, I get to see their live. And she said that her Patreons, she actually was going to give a pattern to the templates to make her Tilly frog. So I'll show you the templates, what they look like, and then I'll show you my pieces when I'd cut them out. And yeah, and they're looking like they were looking pretty plain at this point. Maybe I'll show you some photographs of her Tilly frogs if I can, and then I'll show you mine in a moment, how I was getting on with it. So these are little Atelier's frogs. They're really very cute, aren't they? So so then this is a stage a bit further on, and then I had to get painting. So yeah, so you'll probably see some messy paint pictures, and then how they were kind of looking when I'd finished the painting, and then I left them to dry. Then while they were drying, I went on and I made a Liberty top for my one of my Blythe dolls and my fake Blythe dolls. There's basically a doll that I really liked, an authentic one which I couldn't get, it's old, so I got a fake one and tried to do, you know, a similar kind of theme. And I cut, this is Mandy. She's going to have a sister called Cotton Candy, which nobody has met yet. So it's going to be Cotton Candy and Mandy, because the authentic Blythe out there is called Cotton Candy Mandy. So I've got Cotton Candy and Mandy. And they've both got blue hair, but they're two different kinds of blue hair. But Cotton Candy Mandy had blue hair with two-tone. So yeah, but I get two dolls. But yeah, they're ones I'm customising myself. But yeah, I made her an outfit. I made her some trousers using a Moshi Moshi pattern and with some corduroy. It was basically Tilly and the Buttons, a Cleo pinafore that I made for myself. I had some leftovers, so I made some trousers for this doll, and I've got this Liberty, and I made this blouse. I think it was in Hillary's Moshi Moshi Studios pattern, it might be number 23. I think they were dresses, I think, but there was a blouse in that pattern, so I used just the blouse with the trousers. So back to my Tilly. So my Tilly dried, and then I sewed her together. So I sewed her I think slightly different to we were supposed to, because I wasn't really yeah, I did this after we were supposed to do it, so I just kind of was getting on with it. And we were given a rectangle to make a dress, but we weren't told how to use it. And oh, my son's messaging me. I'll have to get back to that. I think he's saying, is anybody in? I think he's got a delivery coming. so anyway, so yeah, I sewed up my Tillies and I photographed them, and then I ended up making a dress. Now I tea stained some fabric. Now do you remember that those things are made with Alice? For Alice doll, those little aprons, that is the same fabric. And now that fabric is actually fabric from my boy's Moses basket. My first son had a Moses basket, and I used it for all three of my boys, and it had this lovely like white, bit like broadly on lace kind of thing. But it did like, I don't think anyone would have bought it now. People like want things nice and new, don't they? It probably looks a bit old fashioned now. You know, my eldest son is 20 years of age, you know what I'm saying? So so I kept the fabric, but there was a few stains, so I've kept it. Anyway, I tea stained this particular bit and I put it on my Tilly dress for a little apron. And those are the fabrics I've used for the Alice doll aprons as well, which I probably didn't mention actually early on in this video. I love using old fabrics, like vintage fabrics and things, for making things. Then I went on and I made some more trousers and something else pink gingham. Now this is for my pink haired Cindy, but I've got three now. I've got a blonde, a blue haired, like a kind of blue, and a pink haired, but I've not unboxed two of them. I've only unboxed the pink. Yeah, I made of this outfit, Moshi Moshi Studio pattern again, Patreon, and the same blouse, the Hillary blouse that I made from another dress pattern. So then I got to wear my dress, my scene worker Amber dress, the add-on one. There was a Barbie van that came to a neighbouring town, and it was outside a Smith's toy store, and I went along to it, and my husband took this photograph of me standing in the van wearing my dress with my Barbie. So yeah. So it I did feel a tad embarrassed actually. Yeah, I think, well, I didn't, no, but tell a lie, I think my husband felt more embarrassed than I did, because he did say, come on, let's get out of here. Bless him, but he's such a good sport. And we went to Costa, and I even took a photograph of Barbie in Costa. Yeah, I'm getting braver. You're taking dolls out and taking photographs. You know, I know people are going to think I'm crazy, but you know, you've got to do what you love, haven't you? Who cares? I'm not trying to get dates, am I? I'm happily married. I'm happy where I am. Maybe if I was in the dating world, I'd have to be a bit careful, wouldn't I? You know, people think this lady's a bit strange with these dolls and things. I'm past that stage, aren't I, in life? So anyway, so what did I make next? So, actually, my second authentic live, which you haven't seen on YouTube, it's a bit of a spoiler here, but I got a second-hand one, but she didn't come in with her stock. Now, her stock is gorgeous. Now, if you're interested in her original stock, I will include that in a live doll video. She was stunning. She had a cat theme, but mine was naked. But I really wanted this doll, so maybe I could get her stock in the future. But I made her an outfit. Now, I must admit, I used the headband that I'd made before for Lily, and it's actually the same fabric, the Liberty. I made her a blouse, and I made her some trousers, and I made the pockets in Liberty as well. So yeah, I've really been having fun with the Liberty fabrics I have for the dolls. I think it's because they're so small scale and they're so lightweight. You know, they're cotton lawn. It's really lovely for doll making. Then I photographed my Tilly frog that I made. I'm delighted with this frog. I don't know if I really explained how excited I was about this frog, you know, because I painted it and sewn it and everything, and sewed beads on and things. And I photographed it with my Lily Blythe doll wearing her Liberty dress. So that means I've got my Freya the frog back now. You've met Freya. I think I've brought her back up now. I think she's in here. So yeah, I've got her back anyway, from Lily. She's got her own frog now, Tilly the frog. So what did I make? Yes, well, I've been taking some funny photographs. I took a photograph of my wooden man in a jumper that I knitted ages ago. It's a pattern. Well, the base pattern was from the Arnie and Carlos's knitted doll book, but I kind of took the design of one jumper and added it to another jumper. So it's not an exact pattern, but I kind of mashed up two jumpers to get this jumper, and it's on my wooden man, and he's been a bit nosy looking out my bedroom window. So I have ordered some antique wooden dolls, but they're not here yet. They're stuck in customs. So yeah, I'll wait. I'll do like a bit of a wooden doll, fabric doll video soon, but yeah, I've just got to wait for those to arrive. I'm really excited about that. Then I ordered a wooden man kit. It was a fashion designer kit, and it came all the way from New Zealand, and I have got a video on YouTube all about that. It's called Stitching for the Wooden Man. So yeah, I won't go into that too much because there's a video all on its own about that, but I'll put a photograph of what I ended up making, you know, the result of that video anyway. But if you're more interested in that, go and watch it. Then we're getting to more recent things now, and one of them I've got here. So I had been desperate for Sarah Peel, who designs Luna Lapan, to design a frog. And yeah, I've been really hoping for a frog, and she's finally done it. So anyway, she released the pattern at the Festival of Quilts, which was on in the NEC in Birmingham. And unfortunately, I didn't go this year. I think it's just with everything with the craft room. My sewing machine is still at the sewing machine repair shop, so I'm waiting for that to come back. And obviously I've got to pay for that and things. So yeah, I just didn't go this year. So she released the pattern, but she did promise she was going to release it to the public, the general public, the day after Festival of Quilts. So that morning, she hadn't even done a post about it. I got on the website and I ordered, and I got her, and I literally made her straight away. And she's Gracie the frog. So I've got a photograph of her there, and I've got her here. And isn't she lovely? I've been desperate for a Luna Lapin sized frog, so that she can wear little clothes and things. So she's got like the joints so she can bend her legs. She's not got the typical like frog legs, you know, like frog legs are a bit bent, but you could do that. You could put wire in there if you really wanted that look, that frog leg look, but I'm not too fussed because she's going to be wearing clothes and things and you're not really going to see the legs anyway. But yeah, she's a really interesting construction. Sarah, well done. I have congratulated her by text already, but yeah, it's incredible. And you're so, now how I did these webbed feet on my machine. Now I have seen some other people have made this frog and it doesn't look like they've done the webbing on the feet, but I machined it before I stuffed the feet, and so I could stuff into the toes individually. And what I did to do it on my machine is I put green thread on my top and white thread on the bottom in the bobbin. So basically it was okay then. It kind of looks white underneath, doesn't it? And it looks green on top. If you've got a tension issue, like I can barely see a bit of green. I thought, you're going to get a little bit of, you can get your tension with a bit of practice, but I was happy with that tension. So yeah, so some of this is machine sewn. The bits that are machine sewn are the bits that look like this, basically. Not that, then that is actually hand sewn. That's all machine. But all the bits that are raised here are hand sewn. So obviously the arms, all that's hand sewn. The legs are hand sewn. The body is totally machine sewn. Head was part and part, bit of machine, bit of hand, and then hand stitched the head on. But yeah, she's lovely. And this flower crown was an added thing. Now there was no, in all honesty, I was expecting it to be a flower crown made up I was putting on her head, and it came in bits and I wasn't sure what to do with it. So I just literally stitched all the flowers onto this vine, and I've just pinned it onto her head for now so I can just remove it. But Sarah since emailed everybody saying that you cut those yellow bits off and then you hot glue it on. But I've just hand stitched mine on and it's okay, isn't it? I do feel like I could have done with another flower. So I don't know whether to order another one of these from Sarah. There was only about £3.50. Excuse me, let me have a drink of water. So yeah, but it seems a bit silly maybe for one flower, but maybe I could pick up an artificial flower in Hobbycraft or something. But yeah, isn't she lovely? And I can't wait to clothe her. I've not clothed Ziggy my hedgehog yet, but the thing is, it's this craft room business. It's easier to buy something new and make it than it is to delve in things I've bought before. That's what I'm finding at the moment. So anyway, but so yeah, this is Gracie. So I'll just pop her on there. There we go. So then what did I make? I bought a modern day wooden doll. So I'm going to save that for my wooden doll video. I am. All right. Okay. Is this the final make? Right, we're getting to the very end. Right, now I picked up, now I will show you this a bit more in my wooden doll video. I picked up a really old vintage book online. Now I saw somebody on Facebook reading of one story from this book, and I desperately wanted it, and I was lucky enough I was managed to get one that wasn't crazy expensive. And yeah, I'm really happy. So it's very old and look how battered it is, but some of the ones I've seen haven't even had the paper cover, and it's called The Adventures of Pearl and Plain. So I might actually, in my wooden doll video, I might read one of the stories to you if you're interested in that kind of thing. But yeah, so watch out for my wooden doll video. Hopefully my vintage wooden dolls are not going to take too long to arrive anyway. So I'll show you my modern wooden doll, some wooden dolls that I'm going to be making up myself. And I'm going to end this video with a bit of knitting and a fabric doll I've made. So Me, I'm so proud of this. Honestly, I could squeal with delight. Meet my fabric doll. Now this doll is fabric. Now she has a wooden doll appearance, right, in her styling, very like, you know, vintage style, and her face I've painted. Now how I've got her face, her placement for everything, is I took my youngest son, bless him, I took a photograph of him from the front and from the side and from the back, and that's how I got my, that's the shape of his hairline and where his ear is and his face. So basically this is my son. No, not really, but that's how I got all the placement right. While I was doing the painting, I was referring to the photograph of my youngest son to get this right. But isn't she beautiful? I just love this doll. And this pattern is by, this is from Etsy. She's called, on Etsy, she's got 2 Etsys. I think she's called Miss Susanna on one of them, and she's called Verity Hope on the other one, I think. So anyway, this pattern is her doll pattern, but I did my own thing with the face. There wasn't really any instruction on how to do the face, just obviously how you put the doll together. And this is a separate pattern that I bought to make a dress. I wanted like a vintage dress, and she got pantaloons. Now I am going to undress this doll so you can have a good look at her, but I'm going to bring her back when I do my wooden doll video. You're going to see her again. I will bring her back. Now I've put Velcro on this dress. It wasn't supposed to have Velcro, and I've done some facings, and I don't think it had facings either, so I've kind of tinkered with this pattern a little bit. There we go. That's what she's looking like from the back. So see, she comes in at the waist. Basically, she's darted in at the front and the back to get this shape, to tuck her in. It's really incredible, actually. You sew her arms on after like this, and she's ball jointed. Now look at that. She's got articulation at the elbows. These are her pantaloons, so I'll just remove those. These are her legs. Oh yeah, I had a bit of fun. I painted nipples. So anyway, these are her legs. She stitched them on after. I kind of cinched them in a little bit like this when I sewed them to bring them in. And look, she's got ball jointed knees. Now I have made loads and loads of dolls and toys and all sorts, but I've never done this technique before. You know, made like a ball jointed. It's really very clever, isn't it, the way it works? I'm thinking, do I need to do that a bit tighter, do you think? It's not going to come off, but yeah, it's really, I think just one I've probably sewn on a bit more than the other, look. But yeah, she can kind of sit, look, like this, and you can do more with her arms, but she's just incredible, isn't she? So yeah, I'm going to get her back dressed, and then I'll show you what I'm knitting. Oh, and something I've finished, and then we'll finish this video. I'll send you over to a music video of all the things I've made this summer. Alexa, what is the date today?
It's Monday the 4th of September.
There's an event actually going on today, a charity event. And yeah, I don't know if I'm going to be able to go to it because my middle son started college today, and I don't know when I've got to pick him up. And yeah, it could be any time because it's an induction week. So yeah, I can't really go to it. Not unless he ends up coming back. I pick him up and then it's still on and I can go over there. I don't know. I think the charity might be supporting Mind this year, I think. I'm not too sure. I think it's on mental health awareness. And there we go. So yeah, I added lace and things. I gathered my lace to this. This is fabric that was given to me. Either my nan's still alive, she's in her 90s, or my auntie that unfortunately passed away. It was either or of them. And they gave me this fabric, but yeah, it's really lovely. It's cotton. I actually burnt a little bit of it outside just to see its composition, and yeah, it did burn like cotton, it did. So yeah, she's absolutely lovely, isn't she? So I'm going to make her maybe some retro style clothing as well. She's not always going to be in her period clothing, but yeah, she's my precious. So anyway, I'll pop her there with Gracie. So yeah, she's been joining the knitted dolls. I keep my knitted dolls in here. Actually, I keep all of my Arnie and Carlos knitted things in here, actually. Some of the Christmas things are in the loft, but yeah, some of them, I've got a basket here, but yeah. So keep these in here as well. Oh, her shoes come off. They have a habit of doing that. So anyway, I finished a knitted sweater, but I haven't steamed it yet. And here it is, number 12. So it will look a lot nicer when I've steamed it. So this is Advent Day 12. And yeah, and I love it. There's one of my hairs. My hair gets everywhere, actually. So yeah, it says 12 on the front and the back. And I've started the next one. Now, when I cast on this next one, it was the weather had been really dull and it was feeling like autumn was on its way. I thought, oh yes, this feels so right. It's autumnal. Look at it, very autumnal. Now we're having an Indian summer. Honestly, it's absolutely baking. It's hotter than when I was filming my Barbie doll unboxing video. Much hotter, and we're having more relentless heat day after day. So anyway, but this is how it's looking. This will be number 13. So you can just see the start of it, can't you? Can you? Yeah, just about. The bottom of the 1 and the bottom of the 3. So yeah, so you work the body up until the armpit. Then you leave it. Then you knit the arm up to here. Knit the arm up to here. Then you join them. And then you work a number of like just knitting around and decreasing and things. Keep going till you get to here. And then you do a really long neck, like this neck. Ooh, it's twice the size of this, look. It's really long. It's 25 rows it is. There you go. So it's lovely. So yeah, I've got another one. So will I get these done for Advent? It's possible, as long as I don't get too distracted. Now I would like to do more of my my animal sewing. I've got like the donkeys and things, but I have to do a lot of that in the evening, and that's when I'm going to do my knitting. So yeah, I might crack on with these now if I want to get them done. So anyway, thank you so much for joining me for part 2 of my Summer of Making video. I'm going to send you off now to a video of the things that I've shown you in this video. I'll try and get some things photographed that I didn't get photographed in time for part 1, so maybe some of those things I showed you in part 1 but you didn't see them at the end will be in this video. But I'll get everything photographed, put it in my music video, and I'll see you next time. And I suspect, if customs doesn't hold me up too much, it's going to be my wooden doll video, but I will bring this lady back into that video as well, and maybe I might be reading you a story. What do you think? So anyway, I'll see you next time. Bye.